Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome back with Wolf Talk. And today we are meeting with George Duffield with National Integrity Title.
How
Thank
are
you
you?
for joining me.
Thank
And
you so much for having me,
yeah,
and I appreciate it. So
yeah,
thanks for thinking of me.
absolutely. So give us a little background. What got you into title? How did you get in it? How did National Integrity come about?
So I guess it was 2011. I was a residential realtor, and I used to give all my title work to Integrity Title. And what wound up happening is the people that worked sales and marketing for Title, they
Hmm.
actually left and went and started their own title company.
Oh, okay.
The owner reached out to me and said, "Hey, are you going to still give us your work?" And I said, "Yeah." Growing up in the city,
Hmm.
you have a tendency to talk smack from time to time. I turned around and said, "Absolutely, I'll come work for you. I'll run your sales and marketing department." So I knew this much about title,
Right.
and but it was an opportunity.
Hmm.
I did take a step back to take four steps forward.
Yeah.
So I went to work for the company in 2011 as running their sales and marketing department. And in 2014, me and my partner now, Fran Turchi, decided to buy the company. And in 2015, we wrapped everything up. In March of 2015, we purchased the company.
That's awesome.
Start.
So did you so are you doing title from I mean, it says national, but
Yep,
is it
yep.
truly national? Like you guys are all
So
over or
we
more
we do
regional?
cover a couple states. We
Okay.
do have resources to do things across the country.
Hmm.
Predominantly, our backyard or our footprint is Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Florida.
Okay.
When we first took over Integrity Title, we predominantly only did residential.
Right.
Within the first year, we started to increase 10%, 20%. Now we're probably 50-50 between commercial and residential.
Wow. That's really cool. I did not
Yeah.
know the whole backstory of it.
We would only do Jersey, and then we added Philadelphia, and then
Hmm.
we added the burbs in Philadelphia. Now we do stuff all across the state in
Yeah.
Pennsylvania and Florida for selfish reasons. It's a lot warmer in Florida right now.
Do you ever have to travel down to Florida or?
There are times that I'll go down there and I'll meet with some clients.
Yeah.
We added Florida because we have a lot of clients that are based in New Jersey,
Hmm.
based in Pennsylvania, that are doing deals down there.
Yeah.
And it just, they said, "Hey, George, we like working with you. We like the way your company streamlines everything and handle our stuff."
That's really cool. I love
No
that.
problem.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll
Yeah.
I'll show up when it's 2 degrees here.
Right. Absolutely. Live the snowbird life, right? That's what they call it,
I'm
right?
listen. There's a trick to it, and I'm trying
Yeah.
to figure it out.
What is something that you would say is critical when it comes to title? What are things that you should people should know when it comes to title?
I think out of the gate, you should have the right representation with
Hmm.
legal. You should have the right real estate attorney that's familiar with commercial property,
Hmm.
whether it's industrial, warehouse, whatever. Um, a lot of times buyers will say, "Hey, I can handle this," and we try
Yeah.
to say, "You need an attorney for this. You want the right professionals in your corner
Right.
out
Yeah.
of the gate,
Yeah.
um, and you want to have the right real estate brokerage with you as well."
Right. Yeah. I mean, because really, at the end of the day, it's a very large transaction, no matter what it is, right? And as much as we want to say, oh, it's commercial or residential, regardless, oh, it's not personal. It really is personal, especially when it comes to business. It Part of it is personal, and it's a big leap. So having the right people in your corner, it's important. It's going to make sure that everything goes smoothly, that you don't get screwed out of a deal or anything that pops up is going to be handled.
The average person doesn't realize how many moving parts are happening. If
Hmm.
we had a transition or a transaction where somebody was buying a liquor store, and unfortunately the broker wasn't super seasoned on what he was doing. They didn't have
Hmm.
an attorney involved. Next thing you know, they're at the settlement table. We provide title insurance. We make sure that the property is free and clear of any liens,
Right.
judgments, encumbrances. Um, the broker dropped the ball. They forgot the
Oh,
$1.2 million in inventory,
oh my
and
God.
that was getting discussed at the table, which delayed settlement, and it created a lot of grief and aggravation for people that didn't necessarily want to have to deal with it.
Yeah, that's and it's bonkers to think that somebody wouldn't go about making sure that they are covered, right?
Yeah,
I that's one thing I mean, look, I'm not a commercial real estate broker, as you know,
same,
but
same.
but I mean, I do have experience in the residential side of
Yep.
things, and it just always drove me crazy that people didn't you're not doing your due diligence. It's not doing your due diligence. Essentially, that's what it really is, right?
Yeah.
Having people in your corner and making sure that you do the person that that is representing you is doing what they're supposed to be doing and making sure that you're covered, because then they're covering their ass. If they want that money, then you gotta make sure you're good.
A lot of when somebody's buying a commercial property, yes, you have to do your due diligence,
Yeah.
and you have to make sure that the proper people that are seasoned in what you're purchasing in that field know exactly what they're doing. There are countless times that somebody will hire their friend's brother-in-law who's a divorce attorney for a real estate transaction.
Right.
Don't listen to that advice. Get the right person,
Yes.
because that person could be the difference from you getting the property or not getting the
Right.
property.
Yeah.
And having yourself in the crosshairs of something that somebody's not seasoned on, you could actually lose out big time. And you want to be protected all around the board.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
make sure you get the right attorney.
I love it. For those outside of the industry and that don't know, what from start to finish, like what does title look like?
Well,
I know that's probably like a
yeah,
loaded question, but like if you can kind of
it's
just give
loaded.
us like an
Yeah.
overview.
Well, in the title space, what we do, as I mentioned earlier, it's our job to make sure you're buying the property free and clear of any liens, judgments, encumbrances. It's our job to make sure you're buying exactly what you think
Mhm.
and what's on the contract. And that's why it's important to have the right attorney to make
Mhm.
sure that they're also explaining to you, yes, you're buying this property. You might have this easement that could be an obstacle. You
Mhm.
could have this restriction that could be an obstacle. I've seen people buy properties, no legal representation. They think they can do one thing with it. It's not zoned properly.
Mhm.
It's our job to let you know exactly what you're buying.
Right.
Uh, Valid to validate exactly what you're buying. If you want to buy a property warehouse and turn it into something, that's something that we don't dictate.
Right,
This
of
we tell
course.
you this is exactly what it's zoned for, and this is what you're buying.
Yeah. Well, it's really I've always found it interesting. So like not to go on a tangent, but
Yeah.
um when we purchased so I bought my first home when I was 22 years old.
Okay.
And we were there for years, like did a cash out refi, fixed a little bit of it up, and then 6 months later turned around, sold it, bought in Washington Township. And when we were purchasing our home in Washington Township, we got title done.
Okay.
And there was liens on the property. And it but it was what was weird was that house that we were purchasing was a rental home. So the tenant that
Okay.
was in the house was the one that had the liens on the house.
Oh, well, that just
We
complicates things a little
I
bit more.
know, it
Okay.
was so weird. And from again, I'm like not 100%, obviously about title, but they were like more minute, like they
Okay.
weren't like over the top crazy, so they were able to like remove them. We had it free and cleared us. We
Yep.
had no issue, like didn't delay anything because we were well ahead of the game. We were told we were represented correctly. They walked us through what would happen and everything else, but it was just like, holy crap. Like, how does a tenant get to do that? How does it like, you know what I mean? So that was like really interesting. That was like that threw me for a loop. I've never even like knew that that could be possible, that a tenant could actually do that.
I tell everybody when you're purchasing a property, whether it's 3 months out, 90 days out,
Mhm.
6 months out, start the process of title immediately.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, they don't want to do it because they don't. What happens if the deal dies?
Right.
For us, if the deal dies, it's a cost of doing business. I would rather have things done out of the gate, deal with the problems, which is
Yeah.
the most important thing,
Yep.
especially in the commercial space. Time is money, and
Yes.
people have their financing for certain times. Same thing when
Yep.
you get a rate lock on a residential property.
Yep.
You want to make sure that you do things out of the gate quick enough
Mhm.
so you have ample time. If something goes south, you can get it taken care of.
Right.
A lot of people wait to the very last minute, and then it's a fire drill and everybody's
Mhm.
scrambling around. Um, if you got a 30-day closing or you got a 90-day closing, start title out of the gate, find out what's going on. And throughout the course of your transaction, the title company, if it's a really good company, they're going
Yeah.
to be doing bring down. So there's no
Right.
last minute surprises. We do a bring down usually the day of, just to make sure there was nothing dropped on
Yeah,
the
it's like a
property at the
rerun
last minute.
essentially,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really good. Like because again, it's important to make sure that there's no unforeseen things happening, right? Like you want to make sure that everybody's protected and covered, and all that good stuff, so that we all can close on the deal.
Yeah, we just saw something not too long ago. A New Jersey realtor was purchasing a home
Hmm.
down in Gloucester Township. She did not want to do a survey. She knew she
Hard.
wanted to put a pool in. She didn't want to do a survey because she knew the property backed up to state land,
Hmm.
right? Not state game land, or
Yeah.
not game land, but state land.
Right.
And sure enough, she buys the property. She's in the business. We mentioned to her, hey, you might want to get a survey.
Yeah.
You said you're going to do a pool.
What, it
No,
costs like $150. Like, it's like next to nothing
it
to get
was
a survey
it
done.
was a newer development, and the builder told her that her property line went to X.
Hmm.
Now she's in the property. She wants to put a pool in, and the pool company said, hey, we need a survey. So now she has to get one, and it was probably 7 feet in from where
Hmm.
she thought, which would have pushed the pool closer to her house.
Yes.
The township knew about it, and they were going to give that piece of the land back, but you had to go and apply for that.
Right.
And what wound up happening is it delayed her about a year and a
Hmm.
half, and it cost her time and cost her money
Yeah.
because now she's got to do all this stuff,
Go through all the loopholes.
all the loopholes.
Yep.
And this is a licensed New Jersey realtor.
Right.
Once again, find the right person if
Hmm.
you're purchasing a property that they know exactly what they're doing. Do your research on them. Commercial, residential, do your research
Right.
on the
Especially
people that you're
because,
hiring.
like, yeah, not only that, but like you said, like Gloucester Township, they have different requirements and different things with
Yep.
their zoning when it comes to pools and everything else, as opposed to what Washington Township has, or whatever area, Marlton. Like, every like location is different with what their requirements are, especially with like pools and things like that. Like, it takes 2 seconds to get a survey done. You could have done that during your, like, before your closing. It's literally like $150. I mean,
It's
costs
it
nothing.
might be a little bit more
More now,
in
but
some
like,
areas, but
yeah, but it's like,
for a few $100,
it's worth it.
it's
Get it
worth it.
done. Right. Yeah, that's
It's
crazy.
you have to cover yourself.
Yeah.
There are certain ways of doing certain things, and out of the gate, don't cheap out. That's the most important thing too. Don't cheap out. You're buying a big property, commercial, residential. Don't
Yeah.
cheap out. Do what you need to
Yeah.
do.
Absolutely. What are you, I'm going to switch gears a little bit, but what are you seeing as far as trends go? And it could be residential, commercial, but like, what are you seeing, what's happening in your world of title?
In the commercial space, there are a lot of people selling buildings. We're seeing a lot of people that are acquiring buildings because they need the space. People are coming
Okay.
back. People are getting forced to
Going
come
back
back
to
to
work.
work.
Hmm.
It's amazing. COVID was a couple of years ago, and yet we're still dealing with the
Hmm.
effects of something a few years ago. People are coming back in. They need the space. We're seeing some people be super creative in the
Hmm.
business sense that they're buying buildings and they're making individual suites.
Yeah.
So this way, for a small mom and pop shop, they don't have the resources or the big money to
Hmm.
buy a property and then renovate the entire
Hmm.
thing. Some people are buying these suites and they're renting them out for a few $100, which
Yep.
is actually genius because you're minimizing your loss risk
Hmm.
in a big purchase. Um, Things like that.
Yeah, that's really cool. I so we actually, it's funny that you mentioned that. So we actually represent a property in Collingswood that is
Okay,
similar to that. So they bought this building, and it wasn't the prettiest. And
it happens.
yep, but they converted it, and it is beautiful. It's I think it's 5 stories. And the first floor is like regular office suites, anywhere ranging from, let's say, like 1,000 square feet, and a little bit up. Then on the second floor, they have all those, they call it, again, it's Collingswood Suites, but they call them call suites.
Okay.
So they're like mini, like you said, mini office suites that they have been able to rent out on a month to month basis. But
Right.
it's literally like
It's
people
100%
stay.
occupied.
It's 100%
It's
occupied
100%
because
occupied.
people
Yeah.
are staying, and it's worth it for them. So you're What getting, like, are some especially red flags, if you've seen any, in the commercial space for title, and any opportunities that you're noticing?
Um, we haven't really lately seen any red flags. I think people are doing their due diligence early enough. If anything pops up, they're jumping on it. They are hiring the right attorney to help get involved. It's all hands on deck when there is a little issue. I haven't seen any last minute red flags, knock on
Yeah,
wood, which
that's
is always a
good.
good
That's
thing.
really good.
It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's pretty solid there for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, would I guess compared to like in previous, like especially like with COVID, have you guys seen anything like different from then to now as far as transactions go?
Yeah, I think the consumer is a little bit more educated.
Okay.
I think between the title company that they're working with, I think with the broker they're working with and the attorney, I
Mhm.
think everybody's educating the consumer. There's a lot more consumers that they're getting squared away and understanding what they're doing out of the gate. I
Yeah.
think bankers are having more communication. Um, many years ago, people would buy a property, handle it. Just let
Hmm.
me know what I need to show up with. Let me get my documents, and everybody would go to the settlement table. Now, I think that the consumer has their hands in it a little bit
Hmm.
more than I'm seeing. We're getting more phone calls from them because they don't want any last minute
No,
surprises.
yeah. No, I mean, nobody really does. Nobody like wants to have to
No,
deal with any of that stress, right? So that's really good to know. Like knowing that people are, I don't want
they're
to
being
speak.
proactive.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's more
They're
proactive than
proactive.
reactive, which is important. And I think maybe, like you said, like COVID and everything else, how deals were done previously, like that's helped shape things just like it has shaped the market. So
I think banks have tightened up a little bit,
yeah.
so they're requiring more,
Hmm.
and that's given the opportunity for the consumer to get more educated into what's going on.
Absolutely.
And I think attorneys are doing a better job.
Yeah.
Attorneys for the most part say we have this, but now it's kind of they're walking them through the steps because these are some very large purchases
Yeah.
and they're seasoned too.
Right.
People that were buying something 5, 6, 8 years ago, they're a lot more seasoned. They know what's
Hmm.
going on at this point. They've been through the mill
Right.
with some purchases, and at the end of the day, they have a better idea exactly what they're looking for, trying to do, and executing it.
Do you think that, and I'm gonna like talk really quickly about AI, do you think that like any type of AI like has helped the process with all of it? Like I know that people are doing, being more proactive, but do you think AI has something to do with that or has
Yeah,
shaped it a little bit?
no, I think well, if you have to see this, people's emails are coming out a lot better and easier to read.
Yes.
People are people are using ChatGPT
Right.
or Copilot to the fullest when it comes
Hmm.
to typing emails. They're not as short as they were.
Right.
They're explaining things in a better capacity,
Yeah.
which is a benefit of AI.
Yeah.
As far as people doing their due diligence, I think they're getting a better understanding if they're loading um, a building report into ChatGPT. It's they're able to ask it certain questions to give them a better understanding of what's
Hmm.
going
Yeah,
on.
like in layman's terms
Yeah,
sometimes, you know what I mean? Because there is like a lot of fluff, I feel like.
there's a lot of fluff
Yeah.
in some of these reports. Some of these
Yeah.
engineering reports come back. It
Right.
it it really lays it out for them, saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, this is what you have to look for." And the benefit of that is now you're getting all this information in layman's terms,
Hmm.
which unfortunately for the attorneys, the billable hours sometimes slow down a little bit.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
there is some money being saved somewhere along the line.
Yeah,
There has to be.
absolutely. What are you guys seeing or doing as far as like AI or things that are helping streamline your processes within National Integrity Title?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of automation,
Yeah.
so everything's is kind of on a timer. When one task is done, other emails go out.
Hmm.
For us, when the reporting comes back, we still like to have our people put their eyes on
Absolutely.
exactly what the title
I think that
report.
you should do that, like no
Yeah.
matter what, like regardless of AI and all of that. It's great to have like as a backup and just. So I know we talked a little bit about AI.
Yep.
We talked about red flags. We talked about doing your due diligence, all that good stuff. From a business owner standpoint,
Okay.
what are you doing to, because you have so many people in there coming and going, and you've had people there for many years. But
Right.
what are you doing to um, capture you know new employees and then also retain them?
So in the title insurance space, they don't offer it in class. So you got to kind of bring people up. There's not a lot of people getting into title. So
Mm-hmm.
we try to hone in on the younger community to also give them a voice.
Right.
Let them be creative, not just, hey, here's your work, sit there, be quiet, and off you go. No, what do you think? How do you
Mm-hmm.
like this? And we also like the way they think of things technology wise.
Mm-hmm.
It really works for us as a technology based company in the
Yeah.
title insurance space. For retention, I think listening to them, hearing them, let them have, we try to let our staff have a voice because we are cutting edge technology in
Yeah.
an industry that is a very older industry, and I
Hmm.
mean age wise. We do offer, we try to create a better culture, right?
Right.
Um, 401k,
Hmm.
we offer that. We're a very family oriented company. We do have some staff that are younger, that have
Hmm.
young kids. Me and my partner have kids. Our kids are older.
Hmm.
If you have a Christmas parade to go to, you better make it.
Right.
If you have a Halloween parade, you better make it. If you want to
Aw.
get on the bad side of two owners that care about families, miss one of your kids' events. The work is going to get done.
Yeah.
We have a team of around 40 employees. Somebody's going to handle your stuff.
Right.
We built our back end system so everybody knows what everybody's doing in real time. So if
Yeah.
somebody has to run out for 2 hours for a kids' parade or a sporting event, somebody's going to handle the work.
Right.
Everybody's in the loop. So we try to create a really good family, wholesome
Yeah.
culture.
And it seems like a very team oriented culture, which is important to have. You know what I mean? You guys all have each other's backs. Everybody can step in where they need to. And because life's sometimes, right? Like,
Yes.
and,
Yes.
we don't always get to control that. So it's good to have that backing system. And I think with like a lot of the younger generation, like having that work life balance is so, so important. And it seems very exemplary of what you guys are doing.
Totally. I mean, some of the people that work for us do work from home.
Hmm.
They will send emails out 8, 9 o'clock at night. But if they have to take their kids to school, or if they have to go to a soccer event, or if they have to get their kids off the bus, we want them to do that. The work is going to get done. It's going to
Hmm.
get done in a timely manner, just because of the way our infrastructure is internally.
Hmm.
Um, nobody's going to lose any time.
Right. Yeah. And I
So
love that. I really do. I enjoy hearing that like from different businesses, and especially like you said, like with COVID and like not even just COVID, like times are changing. Everything is always forever evolving and forever shifting. And I feel like as a business owner, you have to kind of change with that time, right? Like you have to move forward with that time. And I think that is really, really cool. I love
when
hearing that.
when we designed our office back in 2019, we designed it with an open concept model.
Hmm.
We want people to be collaborative. We want them to be out in the open, with our clients that are attorneys, commercial brokers,
Hmm.
residential realtors. We
Yeah.
want them all working together. We
Right.
do a lot of networking events in our space.
I love
It's
that
it's
too.
very airy. It's very open. There's a lot of glass.
Hmm.
It's newer, and that
Hmm.
also attracts a lot of the younger people because they don't want to work. We are in the insurance business,
Hmm.
and the insurance industry sometimes could be a little stuffy. Our office is very open, airy, and it's very welcoming
Yeah,
for the
it is.
most
I
part.
love it. It is a beautiful space. You guys did a really, really good job there.
So if you're in Marlton, New Jersey, One
Stop
Holtec
in.
Drive, we have a fantastic coffee and an espresso machine. Come on in, and it's on the house. And that's a true story. We do have a lot of people that might not have transactions
Yeah,
actively going with us. They'll actually come and work out of our office rather
that's
than
so
sitting in a
cool.
Starbucks. They'll come sit in our office. They'll have their earbuds. Every now and then, somebody will, they'll be working there, and next thing you know, Uber Eats will be delivering food. You don't know who they're going to meet. You don't know who they're going to
Right,
network in with, and that's the best part of our office, is trying to create that culture that it's that welcoming.
right.
You
That
know,
it's a good environment. You want to be there. Like
totally.
you want your people to be there, but like also, hey, if somebody else, like if you have a residential real estate agent or you have somebody else that is in the area, just got done with another client or meeting, and they have some things they want to get done, like pop in and set up shop. It's great.
The,
Like it says a lot to who National Integrity Title is and to you and your partner.
all the stations where everybody can sit at our office has USB ports, so
Hmm.
they can plug in their laptop and they can plug in and do what they need. There was an attorney in our office last week that was working out of there. He finished the settlement a little early, and he said, "Hey, do you mind I work out of here?" The guy's office was in Morristown, which is not that far.
No, no.
So the guy sets up shop. Next thing you know, a couple realtors came in to drop some stuff off. They were shooting a breeze, and I almost said something else,
Yeah,
but they were
I
shooting
knew
the
I was
they
waiting for
they were
it.
shooting the breeze. And next thing you know, they put a coffee on the books. And I think yesterday I heard that the one guy sent him some work. So you
That's
never
so
know who you're going to
cool.
run into
Yeah.
at our office. And we have it open that if people want to do a mix and mingle networking event, you're more than welcome to do it at our office.
That is so cool. I love that. And that's really like that's a part of our industry
Yeah.
is networking, and a part of being in business is networking. And you're doing that in such a subtle way that just opens the doors for people that wouldn't even think that it would open a door for. So it's great, and I love that. It's just awesome.
It's amazing how many people are in business don't open up their front door like
Hmm.
that. We open our door up for a lot of different people. There are local networking groups that actually use our location.
Hmm.
There are some people in the business that do additional training and coaching.
Hmm.
They'll use our office once a week, once every other week. It's a very unique situation for what we have, but we're a different type of title company.
Yeah, and I
So
love that.
we're trying to break the mold.
Yeah, and well, you're not only breaking the mold, but you're also setting the standard at this point, right? So that's something to be said. That's really cool. I love that.
And for anybody that's over 35, 45 years old, we also have a Pac-Man machine with over 60 games in our office. So stop on by and play that too.
I have
That's a
seen
true
that.
story.
Yeah, I
That's a true
have
story.
seen that. So that actually is really cool.
Yeah.
What would you say? And we're gonna close out here, but if you
Awesome.
can give one piece of advice for somebody that is looking to get into title, somebody that is younger, anything, like what advice would you give them coming into this industry?
Look at the whole picture. If you're thinking about getting into the title space, figure out what piece of it do you want. Do you want a sales piece of it where you're out and about networking, or do you want a back end where you're more comfortable being in front of a computer?
Hmm.
Find the right company that they're going to take the time to train you, to make sure that they're setting you on the right path in this industry. We do have a really extensive training program here at National Integrity Title. Um, when we get young people in the building,
Hmm.
we make sure we take the time with them because we want them around forever. And we've
Right.
been very fortunate. We do a lot of promoting from within. A lot of people we hire from the receptionist, they move to the back.
Yeah.
They also get pay raises, they
Right.
increase.
Yeah.
We want them around for the long haul. And I think what's really important is making sure you can go work for a company. You have a voice.
Right. A voice and something that you can grow
Yeah,
with, a company that you can grow with. That's really, that's, I completely agree. I
with
think
a
it's,
company that's growing.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
With a company
Yep.
that's growing.
Yeah. What excites you most about the market, where it's heading? What are you?
I'm excited about for 26. I like the growth that we're seeing. I
Mhm.
like that people are being creative, as we
Mhm.
mentioned earlier
Yeah,
about the
yeah.
Morristown Mall. People are not afraid to think outside the box. And I
Mhm.
think that's what I'm more excited than any piece of this business. People are willing to jump out of the box and say, I can make this work. And it seems like everybody's on board with it.
Yeah.
You're not hearing the negativity saying, well, that's never going to work.
Right.
You're hearing that's a fantastic idea. How can we all grow that?
Yeah.
People are excited to see what's happening right now. And I think it's only going to get better.
I agree. I think it's gonna. I'm like you said. Like I'm excited to see how things are shifting and how you know we're all changing, right? Like we've talked about that before. We're all changing our outlook, the way we view things, the way we view a deal,
Conduct business.
right? Conduct business, the whole from start to finish of okay, so you have XYZ, this is how we can help you, and this is how we can help within your budget, or whatever it might be. Let's figure out what to do with the Echelon Mall. Let's figure out what to do with the Morristown Mall, as you mentioned, with having all of these features for that community within that mall. It's just it really is. I'm really on board with it. I'm excited to see it too.
The growth of this area. In the Philadelphia market, we're very lucky. We have fantastic restaurants.
Yep.
We have easy transportation from here to the Jersey Shore, from New Jersey to Philadelphia, from New Jersey, whether it's up to New York or
Hmm.
DC. We're in a great location. And I think a lot of these seasoned builders,
Hmm.
entrepreneurs, they're making it happen. So
They
they're
are.
taking things here. So rather than going out, which they are building outside of our immediate
Yes.
footprint, they're also taking a lot of stuff here and reallocating it and creating really good stuff here.
Yeah, we're actually becoming like our own little hub.
We are
We
a
we
hub.
really are. We're our own little hub, and it's really cool to see so much of that growth.
Think
Right?
about it.
Yeah.
Hour and 25, 30 minutes to New York, an hour down towards Atlantic City and the shore points,
Hmm.
25 minutes over to Philadelphia. It's a
It's
win.
yeah.
And it's a turnpike exit.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
a turnpike exit.
Yep. Well, I truly appreciate your time
Thank you
today.
so much for having me.
Yeah, no, thank you for joining me on Wolf Talk and, educating us a little bit about title, what you're excited to see, how you're handling and conducting business, all of it from start to finish. It was a pleasure.
I'm excited that I had an opportunity to finally step into the WCRE Wolf Studio. I think it's a pretty cool thing. So thank you so much for
No,
having me.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Take
Bye,
care.
guys.
Bye now. The studio.